Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a woman you deeply cared about? Maybe an ex, maybe someone you loved, and felt like her body said 1,000 things her words never could? Like her silence spoke louder than any conversation? Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video. Watch this video till the end, because you're about to understand feminine psychology in a way that will completely change how you read women and how you understand your own heartbreak. Now let's begin. Secret 1. Her tightness around you shows emotional armor, not rejection. Let me ask you something. Do you remember that moment, maybe weeks before the breakup, when she felt different around you? Her hugs got shorter. Her shoulders got tense. Her body didn't melt into yours the way it used to. And in your heart you knew something was changing, but you couldn't explain it. Let me tell you the truth no one ever told you. Her tightness wasn't rejection. It was protection. Carl Jung said the body is the first place where emotions speak. And when a woman starts to tighten around you, her posture, her tone, her presence is because she's building emotional armor. Not to push you away, but to keep herself from falling apart. Think about your own love story for a moment. Go back to the last time you held her hand. Can you remember how she slowly loosened her grip over time? How she avoided eye contact on days she used to stare into your soul? You felt that emptiness. You felt that distance. And it hurt in a way only heartbreak can. But here's the part men misunderstand. A woman doesn't tense up because she stopped loving you. She tenses up because she still loves you, and that love has started to hurt. Her body becomes tight when she is overwhelmed. She feels unheard. She's scared of losing herself. She's trying not to cry in front of you, but she's afraid the relationship isn't safe anymore. Have you ever noticed how she tightened only around you, not around strangers? That's because you were the one who mattered. A woman who feels nothing becomes relaxed, casual, even indifferent. But a woman who feels too much becomes guarded. It's not rejection, it's emotional overload. And maybe she didn't know how to explain that. Maybe she didn't know how to say, "I'm scared," or "I love you, but I'm losing myself," or "I feel something breaking inside me." So instead of speaking, her body spoke for her. Let me ask you something personal. When she pulled away, did you blame yourself? Did you replay every memory trying to figure out where you went wrong? Did you feel that ache in your chest? The kind that keeps you awake at 3 a.m., wondering if she ever truly loved you? Listen closely. Her tightness was never proof that she stopped caring. It was the final layer of armor she put on because caring was becoming painful. She wasn't leaving you. She was protecting the fragile parts of herself, the parts she once trusted you with. And here's the final truth. A woman who is indifferent is loose, relaxed, unbothered. A woman who is tight is still emotionally tied to you. Her tension didn't show the end of love. It showed the intensity of it. And maybe part of her was holding on even while she was letting go. Secret 2. Tightness in her voice. She's fighting between staying and leaving. Do you remember the moment her voice changed? Not the words, not the conversation, but the tone. That slight shakiness, that tension at the end of her sentences, that softness mixed with frustration, that strange silence between words, the silence you couldn't understand. Let me tell you something powerful. When a woman's voice becomes tight, she's not being cold. She's fighting a war you can't see, a war between staying and leaving, a war between love and exhaustion, a war between the future she dreamed of with you and the pain she no longer knows how to carry. Think back to your own heartbreak. Can you remember the last argument you had? Do you remember how her voice trembled, but she tried to sound strong? Do you remember how she said, "I just need space," but her voice cracked like she wasn't sure? That wasn't anger. It was confusion. It was fear. It was a woman standing at a crossroads, holding pieces of her heart in both hands, unsure which one to drop. When a woman tightens her voice around you, she's trying not to cry. She's trying not to say something she'll regret. She's trying not to show how much she's hurting. She's trying to stay emotionally controlled. She's trying to protect herself from deeper disappointment. You heard her tight voice and thought, "She's done." But the truth is, when a woman is truly done, her voice becomes flat, emotionless, calm, even cold. Tightness is emotion trying to escape. Tightness is love trying not to break. Tightness is the heart speaking through the throat. Let me ask you this, just between us. Did you ever hear her voice shake when she said, "I'll be okay"? Deep down, you knew she wasn't. But back then, you didn't understand what that tightness meant. It meant she still cared. It meant she was scared to lose you. It meant she didn't want the story to end, but didn't know how to keep it alive. Women don't tighten their voice when they stop loving. They tighten it when love is hurting them so deeply that speaking feels dangerous. It's like her soul is whispering, "If I say one more honest sentence, I might shatter." She wasn't pulling away from you. She was pulling away from the pain. Her voice didn't show rejection. It revealed the emotional storm she was drowning in. And ironically, men often lose a woman right when her voice shows how much she still feels. Secret 3. Tight shoulders reveal emotional pressure. She can't express. Have you ever hugged a woman and felt her shoulders stiffen? Like she wasn't letting the moment sink in. You felt the tension, didn't you? Not just physical tension. Emotional tension. There's a truth Jung understood deeply. The shoulders carry the emotions the heart is too overwhelmed to hold. When her shoulders become tight, lifted, guarded, it means she's carrying weight she cannot speak about. Maybe it was fear. Maybe disappointment. Maybe she felt unheard. Maybe she felt alone next to you, even when you held her. Let's go back to your love story for a moment. Try to remember the last time you hugged her and felt something was off. Did she pull away quickly? Did she hold her breath? Did you feel that invisible wall between you? That wasn't coldness. That was pressure. Silent emotional overload. Women tighten their shoulders when they feel unseen but don't want to start a fight. They're trying to hide sadness. They've been strong for too long. They're carrying resentment they can't speak. They're preparing themselves to be disappointed again. They feel guilty about drifting away. They're considering leaving but don't want to hurt you. Let me ask you something painful but important. Did you ever hold her and feel like she wasn't really there anymore? That was the moment her heart and mind were in conflict. She still loved you, but loving you had become heavy. Her shoulders held the weight she couldn't put into words. This is why hugs felt different. This is why cuddling suddenly became rare. This is why intimacy felt emotionally hollow toward the end. She wasn't rejecting you. She was collapsing emotionally, silently. Men misunderstand this completely. They think, she doesn't want me. But the truth is, tight shoulders show emotional burden, not emotional absence. Sometimes the person who feels the most overwhelmed becomes the most physically closed off. And maybe deep down she wished you noticed. She wished you'd ask, "Are you okay?" What's weighing on you? Not to fix her, but to hold space for her. But when silence grows between two people, the shoulders grow tighter. Her body was speaking. You just didn't know the language yet. And when a woman carries emotional weight alone for too long, she breaks in silence long before she walks away. That tension wasn't pushing you out. It was holding in everything she couldn't bring herself to say. Secret 4. Tight lips mean she's hiding something she can't admit. Have you ever looked at someone you once loved, and their lips said nothing but their silence said everything? If yes, then this part is going to hit home. Let me take you into a small moment. Imagine you're standing face to face with your ex, not arguing, not laughing, just standing, and suddenly her lips tighten. Not like she's angry, but like she's holding back something she refuses to let escape. Why does this happen? Because tight lips are a psychological shield, a way of saying, there's something I want to say, but I don't have the courage to say it. Think about your own memories for a second. Remember the first time she told you she loved you? Remember how open she was? Her lips weren't tight then, and they were relaxed, soft, free. Now ask yourself, and when did that freedom disappear? When did she start hiding how she really felt? Wait, and why is she still holding it in now, even after the breakup? Here's the truth most men don't realize. A woman's silence is rarely empty. It's usually full of emotions she can't express: guilt, fear, love, confusion, regret. Sometimes she tightens her lips because she wants to apologize. Sometimes because she wants to say she misses you, but ego grabs her tongue. Other times she hides the truth because she's afraid that admitting it will open wounds she tried so hard to close. Let me tell you a small story. A guy named Ayan saw his ex unexpectedly at a cafe. She pretended she didn't care, but as soon as she saw him, her lips tightened, just for a second. He noticed. Because tight lips weren't rejection, they were resistance. Resistance to the feelings she still hadn't processed. Maybe she wanted to smile. Maybe she wanted to say, "How have you been?" Maybe she wanted to ask, "Do you think about me?" but everything got trapped between her heart and her lips. My friend, maybe this has happened to you too. So let me ask you, does thinking about your ex still hurt? Do you ever replay her smile in your mind even though she's gone? Or do you wonder if she still feels something but refuses to say it? If yes, then those tight lips might have told you the truth you never heard out loud. Not every woman hides anger. Some hide love. Some hide regret. Some hide the words they wish they said before they walked away. Tight lips aren't always about secrets. Sometimes they're about feelings too powerful to speak. Secret 5. Tight body language means she still feels something. Let's go deeper, because this one uncovers what she tries hardest to hide. Have you ever been near your ex and felt the tension in her body? She wasn't relaxed. She wasn't neutral. She wasn't cold. She was tight. Shoulders stiff. Arms crossed. Breathing held. Hands fidgeting. Avoiding eye contact. Let me tell you a truth no one taught us growing up. And a woman who feels nothing acts relaxed. And a woman who still feels something acts tense. Let me take you into another story. Imagine you walk into a room and unexpectedly see her. Your heart drops for a moment, but you act cool. You look at her, and you catch it. That small tightening of her jaw, the way she adjusts her hair for no reason, the way she adjusts her hair for no reason, the way she stands a little straighter, like she wants to appear stronger than she feels. Why would she react like that? If she was over you? Because psychology says, tension is the body's way of protecting emotions. Maybe being near you brings memories she buried. Maybe she doesn't want you to see that she still gets nervous around you. Maybe she's scared you'll notice the love she's trying to kill inside her. Ask yourself, did she ever pull away quickly when you got too close? And did she avoid hugging you when you bumped into her after the breakup? Did she start acting too formal around you? Like a stranger? These are signs she's protecting her heart, not that she's forgotten you. Let me ask you something a little deeper. Do you still feel that heaviness when you think about her? Do you still replay moments when she held your hand like you were her whole world? Do you still get that shock in your chest when you imagine her with someone else? If yes, then you understand her more than you think. Sometimes her body tightens because she's angry, sometimes because she's hurt. But often, she tightens up because she still cares. Because seeing you awakens emotions she tried to silence. She may act strong. She may act distant. She may pretend she's moved on. But her body betrays her truth. When a woman is fully over a man, she becomes relaxed around him, just like she is with strangers. But when she is still attached, still conflicted, still hurting, still reminiscing, her entire body goes into emotional lockdown. Tight body language is not rejection, it's emotional overflow. It's unfinished feelings showing up without permission. Maybe your ex is hiding more than you think. Maybe you're hiding too, because the tighter she gets around you, the louder her unspoken feelings become. The secret 6, tight silence means her heart is loud. There's a specific kind of silence that hurts more than shouting, more than arguments, more than goodbye. It's the silence where she says nothing, but you can feel everything. Let me take you into a moment you might know too well. Imagine you're sitting beside her on what might be one of your last nights together. She isn't yelling. She isn't complaining. She isn't explaining why she's pulling away. She's just quiet, but not the peaceful kind of quiet. The tight, heavy, emotionally suffocating silence. The kind where she looks away when you look at her. The kind where her breaths get shorter. The kind where she holds onto her phone like it's a shield. The kind where she wants to speak, but her heart is battling her mind. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that type of silence? Or the kind where you wanted her to just say anything, because the quiet felt like losing her in slow motion? The kind where her silence broke you more than any cruel words ever could? Because here's the truth most men never learn. When her emotions get too loud inside, her voice goes silent outside. Women do not become quiet for no reason. A tight silence is a sign of emotional overload. She's scared of saying something that will hurt you. She's scared of revealing how deeply she still feels. She's scared of admitting she's confused. She's scared of telling you she's breaking inside. It's not empty silence, it's protected silence. Let me tell you a small story. A boy named Hamza once told me about the last conversation he had with his ex. He said she barely spoke. She just kept breathing heavily, playing with her fingers, eyes trembling but refusing to cry. He thought she had stopped caring. But the truth? She was quiet because she cared too much. Her heart was screaming things like, I'm scared of losing you. I don't know what to do. I love you, but I'm tired. I wish this wasn't happening. Please don't hate me. But none of it reached her lips. And maybe your ex did the same. Let me ask you directly. Do you still hear her silence when you think about her? Do you still remember the night she stopped talking? But everything in her eyes was begging you not to let go. Do you still feel the pain of the words she didn't say? Because tight silence doesn't mean she's cold. It means she's overwhelmed. It means she's fighting feelings she can't express. It means her heart is loud, louder than her voice. Maybe that silence was never the end. Maybe it was her heart speaking in the only way it knew how. Secret 7, tightening before leaving. Means she still loved you when she walked away. There's a moment before a breakup that almost no one talks about. A moment that hurts more than the goodbye itself. It's the moment she tightens up. Her voice, her posture, her emotions, her entire body. Right before she walks away. Most men mistake this as coldness, but it's the opposite. This is the body language of a woman who still cares, but doesn't know how to stay. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing in front of the person you love more than anything. You know this is it. The last conversation. The last chance. The last moment where you still belong to each other. And suddenly, she stiffens. Her hands tremble even though she hides them. Her lips tighten even though she tries to act calm. Her eyes avoid yours even though they're full of unshed tears. She doesn't speak much because if she opens her mouth, her voice will break. Tell me honestly, have you ever seen that look? And that tightness just before she turned around? That moment where you could tell she didn't want to leave. But something in her heart was pulling her away. Because here's the painful truth. A woman who is done feels nothing. A woman who still loves you feels everything. And that emotional earthquake inside her creates tension in her entire body. She tightens because she's scared she's making a mistake. She's scared you'll convince her to stay. She's scared of hurting you. She's scared of losing herself. She's scared of admitting she still loves you. Let me share a story. A man named Daniel told me he watched his ex walk away after 3 years together. He said she looked strong, focused, determined. But then he noticed it. Her shoulders were tight. Her breathing was uneven, and she kept adjusting her jacket even though it was already perfect. She wasn't calm. She was breaking. She wasn't leaving because she didn't love him. She was leaving because loving him had become too painful for her to manage. Maybe your ex was the same. Let me ask you something personal. Do you still remember her last hug? Do you remember how tight it was? Do you remember how she held on to you for a second longer before letting go? And do you ever wonder if she cried after she left? Because women don't tighten before leaving when they're done. They tighten when they're heartbroken. Her body didn't lie. Her silence didn't lie. Her tension didn't lie. She still loved you, even when she walked away. And maybe that's why it still hurts. Because deep down you know she didn't leave empty. She left carrying the love she didn't know how to handle anymore. A secret 8. When she tightens at the sound of your name, it means your memory still lives in her. There's a reaction women can't control. Not with logic, not with pretending, not even with a new relationship. It's the way she tightens when someone mentions your name. Maybe you've seen it before. Or maybe someone told you, "Bro, when we said your name, she froze for a second." That freeze, that tiny moment of tension, that small shift in her breathing, that's not hate, that's not anger, that's memory. Let me take you into a moment. Imagine her sitting with friends acting like everything is fine. She's laughing. She's scrolling. She's pretending she's moved on. And then someone casually says your name. In that moment, her shoulders lift just a little, her lips press together, her eyes blink faster, her whole body tightens, and she forces a smile she doesn't feel. It's a 1-second reaction. But her whole emotional world just shifted. Tell me honestly, would your heart hurt if you saw that? If you saw her body react before her brain could hide it? And if you realized your name still shakes something inside her? Because here's the truth. When she's truly over you, your name means nothing. But when she's not, your name hits her like a memory she's trying to bury. Your name carries weight. Late night calls. Emotional confessions. The first time she told you she loved you. The fights. The nights she held your hand. The day she walked away. The things she never got to say. Your name isn't a word. It's an entire emotional universe. And her body knows it. even when she pretends not to. Let me tell you a story. A boy named Adil once told me he saw his ex after months. She was with her friends, happy, glowing, confident. He walked by without saying anything. But the moment she saw him, her jaw tightened, her hand gripped her purse, and her breath hitched for just a second. That wasn't anger. That wasn't fear. It was a memory waking up, and maybe your ex does the same. Let me ask you something. Do you think she still reacts to your name? Do you believe she still tightens when someone mentions your story? Do you ever wonder if her heart jumps for a moment before she forces herself to act normal? Because the body never lies, not even when the heart tries to move on. If she tightens at your name, you still live inside her. Her secret 9. When her emotions tighten, it means she's not fully over you. There is a moment every man experiences. The moment he realizes she's acting strange. Cold, short, distant. But why? Why does her energy feel tight? Because emotional tightness is a sign she's not done feeling. Let me explain with a story. Imagine you see your ex again after months. Maybe in a grocery store. Maybe at a friend's party. Maybe by accident. You expected casual. You expected mature. You expected I'm fine, we're just strangers now. But instead, her entire energy shifts the second she sees you. Her voice softens. Her posture stiffens. Her smile becomes forced. Her words become shorter. Her breathing changes. She suddenly becomes the most guarded version of herself. That's not indifference. That's emotional tension. And it's the biggest sign she's not over you. Let me ask you, have you ever seen her avoid eye contact even though you can feel she wants to look at you? And have you ever felt tension in the air, like there's something unsaid between you? Have you ever walked away knowing she wanted to say something but didn't? Because when a woman is over you, she is relaxed. No tightness, no awkwardness, no emotional spikes, just peace. But when she still feels something, her body betrays her. Her eyes soften but look away too fast. Her voice becomes careful. Her hands fidget. She avoids standing too close. She keeps the conversation short to protect herself. She laughs too quickly or not at all. She acts cold to hide warmth. This isn't rejection. This is unfinished love. It's emotional tension. The tension of someone who still feels but doesn't trust the feeling anymore. Let me tell you what a girl named Alina once admitted. She said, "I wasn't over him. That's why I acted cold. If I had moved on, I would have acted normal. But the tighter I acted, the more I knew he still mattered." Maybe your ex was the same. Maybe she acted cold not because she stopped loving you, but because she loved you too deeply and didn't know how to show it anymore. Let me ask you, man to man, do you still feel something tightening inside you when you think of her? Do you think she felt the same when she saw you? Do you think she was holding back tears, memories, words? Because emotional tightness isn't the sign of someone who's healed. It's the sign of someone who's fighting feelings they're scared to admit. A woman who's over you is calm. A woman who's not is tense. And her tension is the proof that the story between you isn't as finished as it seems. Conclusion. If this video touched your heart, if it reminded you of your love, your past, or your pain, then subscribe to Stoic Mysteries, like the video, comment below your thoughts, and share this with someone who needs clarity. Because real understanding doesn't come from words, it comes from awareness. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.